Alright, welcome back to the freaking Calgary GM series. It's been a little while. It's been almost exactly a week for me since I did the last recording session for this, so a little bit that I need to recap both for myself, and I figure the viewers probably won't hate a short recap of what went on in the last episode. It was a lot of simming for me. I didn't show as much simming. It was more of a micromanaging episode, but if you want to get caught back up, we're 13-7-1. Through, 21 games? So we're really, I was not even expecting to be way above 500. We are way above 500 to start the season, on the better side of 500 to open the year. Our last game was against San Jose, but the good news is, we're in November, so this is Thanksgiving. This is basically roughly American Thanksgiving. And through this point in the season, we have avoided a lengthy losing streak so far. Knock on wood. I don't have any that I can knock on in my general vicinity right now, but knock on wood for us, because we've looked really good going back to, this was opening night against Edmonton, so that was the first game of the season, and this is what October looked like. Very solid October for us. And we looked at it, we're top 10, I think, in goals for. We looked at it at the end of the last episode if you really want to get caught up on stats. And we're pretty good on goals against. We have a decent special teams as well. Penalty kill, power play, doing really good so far. So I don't see a whole lot of adjusting that needs to be made. My plan for this episode is to get a lot more simming in. So I think what I'll do for this episode, to keep it pretty entertaining and avoid micromanaging where and when I can, I'm going to try to show as much of the simulation as possible. And that means taking this gameplay, or whatever you want to call this episode, up to the trade deadline. That's where I want to cut this, shortly before the deadline. We'll probably cut it close to this game against Carolina or New Jersey, so we can make decisions about what we should do at the deadline. If you want to chime in, feel free to make a comment on this video what you think we should do for the trade deadline, depending on how this simulation goes. We got a chunk of season to get through. I think I'll show from the calendar some of the simulations, so you can be a little more involved in seeing the results as we go throughout our season. Also, you might hear it in the very background. I hope I don't get copyrighted for this, but we got some new menu music, and a lot of it is based on the old school NHL soundtrack. So like 04, 03, NHL 2000, which was the very first game I played. I played it around the time it had come out. I guess my dad had gotten it on PC. I played NHL 2000 on PC. It has Chris Pronger on the cover as a St. Louis Blue. That's how freaking old I am. So, got some new menu music, some new vibes for me to do while we simulate through this. And I do want to show you injuries. I know I showed that at the last video, but we'll take a look at injuries just to recap that as well. So there's who we're missing. Curtis Glencross. Backlund still waits to be evaluated. That was the case in the last episode. We haven't figured out what's happening with Backlund. And Horak is going to be able to play through a broken nose. He's just going to have to suck it up and play through that broken nose, the broken schnoz. And the lines look like this as it is. Someone mentioned in episode 2 in the comments, Camilleri is not really a center. So I don't know this because the Flames are a team that play on the West Coast, basically on the western side of the hemisphere. From where I live, they play on the west. I live on the East Coast. Let's just put it that way. So there's a time differential there, and it's very hard for me to keep up with teams on the west as an East Coaster. And so I never really paid much attention to the Calgary Flames during Camilleri's stint as a Flame. And I was not aware what position he played. But in this game, if you want to see it, he's listed as a center, and on Hockey Reference and Elite Prospects, any of those great statistics pages, he's listed, I think, as a center left wing. But he's been playing center for us this year, and look at his defense category. For me as a center, there's two things you need to have: good defense category, and I think you need to have a good passing category. And Camilleri, he checks all of those boxes, so I'm not worried about that. And I can pull up the stats from here. That's cool. I don't know why I didn't know that before. But yeah, you see what he's done so far. 9 points in 17 games. Okay, as a first liner that's played in 17 of the 21 games so far, yeah, he could be doing better in terms of point production. What is he? He's a sniper. Yeah, he needs to be scoring. He needs to be scoring a little bit more. What is this page? Playoff stats. So that's the last time he was in the playoffs. So that needs to change this season. We are not banged up on D. We are completely healthy on D, so that's good news. If someone gets injured, the guy that would fill in, I want to show it real fast. It probably would have been faster to... Kandari's gotten in a few times, but where's this guy? I thought there was this guy, Smith. Is he... So he's supposed to be scratched. How do I do that? There. Scratch the player, right? Yeah, I think we're good. I don't think that changes any of the lines or anything. Wait a minute. Hold on. What? It took a center out. Who's out? Wait. Isn't Smith is Smith not a defense? Smith is a defenseman, but he was playing center? Yeah, that can't happen. Oh, well, so we got to call someone up. We got to call somebody up. We have an injury there, and I don't have a choice. Because we had a defenseman playing center, so I can call this guy up real fast. All right, Mr. Street. Mr. Street, what's your face-offs? They're not much better than the defenseman's face-off rating. The defenseman that was in there at the center position, he had a 55 face-off rating. This guy has a 60 face-offs, but we need a true center playing on the fourth line. I don't really care. Get dressed, get in the lineup, and just play. Just play 1 or 2 games. Or whatever it is that we're going to be missing. Whoever played center, someone's out that plays center. I don't remember who's out. I know that Glenn Cross is out and he plays on the top line left wing. But yeah, it's kind of thrown our roster all over the place, hasn't it? So glad I looked at the lines before I jumped into the simulation. So now we're going to sim, and I guess I'll leave it in here. I want you guys to see the simulation, I guess, as it happens. Keep it a little more interactive. So we'll do it from the calendar. I'm going to sim, I guess, like a handful of games at a time. And some of it may be edited out. I just want you to keep in mind that the simulation in this game took forever. That's just... EA was... Their game was slow. Their simulation system was really slow. I also hope that from this screen it will alert me to any injuries that may happen, but I don't think that was a thing in this game. I think you actually had to back out of the calendar to see injuries. And do you see how slow it simmed? Do you see what I have to put up with? Okay, good. Those couple of games got a winning streak. Once again, you know, we just simmed 3 games. We lost. We had a 2-game losing streak. We lost to Anaheim as well in there, but we snapped it right in the butt by beating LA and Toronto. And did we have any injuries in that stretch of play? Okay, so Backlund we've got an update on. It's a pulled groin. And Blair Jones, you were not injured before. Glenn Cross, we knew, was a long, lengthy injury. And so is Blair Jones. He's got a separated shoulder. So this game does not update me on any injuries that happen. So if I go into the lines, I should have to replace a player. Yep, there you go. We got a defenseman playing second line left wing, and that just can't happen. Sven Berchi, you get up there. I have got to go to roster moves. And at this point, I don't have a choice. I have to call up the best overall player left in the minors, or go look in free agency. There's still people left in free agency that are better than what we got down in the A. And we could... Yager. It has to be done. We have to sign Yager. He wants a... You know, I'm doing it. It's better than what we got in the A. Whatever he wants, I'm sure he will be very interested. So, Jaromir Yager, we're doing it. We're adding the legend. He was a Calgary Flame in 2017. So I'm trying to think. I think it was 17. Fun fact, I actually attended a game in Calgary that Yager played for the Flames. So I got to see Yager in person in Calgary play for the Flames once upon a time. So we're just going to do this. We're going to offer Jaromir Yager a contract. We've got the cap space for that, do we not? We have $3.8 million in cap space, so I got to watch this. Now, I want one more. But it's got to be a guy that's not worth more than $1 million. Or asking for more than $1 million. Hammerlick, you're a D. Dominic Moore from the Washington series. We could do that. Brandon Yip, Nashville Predator from the Nashville series. You know, I like Maxime Lapierre. That would be a good, friendly contract, 1 year. You know what? We'll do it. Nice depth option. We need depth forwards. And these guys are sitting here in free agency. We got to do it. We're having way too many injury problems. That's another thing. I got to bump up the medical staff. So I'm just going to offer you that. So we should be getting 2 players in our organization now out of free agency. We should hear back from them in a few days. I think what we're going to do... I don't think I called that guy up. I can't remember. So I think what we're going to do, we might roll with the defenseman here on the left wing. You're just going to have to learn how to play the wing for a day or two, because I don't think I called that guy. I was going to call someone up, and I never called him up. Okay. All right, take back what I said. I think we're just going to sim from this screen, from the GM hub, because I need to be able to see who's getting injured, and I can't see that from the calendar. Now, ideally, the calendar is the better way to go for entertainment purposes, I think, but we're just going to sim it from here. So we'll sim 2 games at a time, and I'm sure we'll get feedback from our free agents that we offered contracts to. That was instantaneous. Maxime Lapierre has gladly accepted our offer. So when I say OK here, and I click OK, can I stop the sim? Is it triangle? Stop the sim. Stop the sim. Stop the sim. Stop the sim. Because it's going to sim past that Ottawa game, but I don't want to sim beyond that. If we get a W, do we keep the defense? I mean, we won. And now Backlund's available. Okay, now everything's going all over the place. We got Lapierre and we got Backlund. So I got to edit. So it tells me when this guy's back from injury. So Smith, you're gone, basically. Let me see. Bear with me. There's going to be some micromanaging that's going to happen in this episode. I'm trying to keep it entertaining. Backlund. Yep. Get in there. And, see, this throws everything all over the place, right? Doesn't it? I think you gotta have Backlund, obviously. Third line center, Kandari. That's a defenseman. God, this really is all over the place. Because we've got Kandari. Oh, did we... I don't know what's going on anymore. Did we lose another player to injury? Who did I scratch? Yep, D. Smith. Yeah, he needs to be scratched. Don't worry, I got this. There's LaPierre. He's getting in the lineup. Kandari, you're gone. You're not gone. You're just a healthy scratch. LaPierre, put him in the lineup. Grinder on the third line. Just fit right in, buddy. Get used to it. Backlund's a playmaker. Okay, so how does our power play look now? Now the power play. Jones, Stempniak. I like that. That's fine with me. This power play is fine. Actually has Bearchi produced on the power play. Can I see that information? Penalty kill. That'll be Backlund, but it's a playable injury. Ooh, Backlund is a playable injury. Better option at center than that. Yeah, Camilleri. Oh, Leo Komarov is on waivers. That would be an interesting claim, but nope. I've sent out my offers. We're still waiting to hear back from Yager, so we won. All that micromanaging is done for the time being, that little bit. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. How do I do this? We have got to, I have 15 points. We've got to upgrade the med stat. Oh, I have more than that. I have 149 points to spend. We're going to spend most of these. We're upgrading that medical staff right away. Prevent injuries. Absolutely. Okay, hang up the phone. Hopefully, that phone feature definitely dates this game. Freaking BlackBerry phone in there. But hopefully we can minimize the injuries now. This is why I have to sim from this screen. Yeah! There we go. Jaromir Jagr is now a Calgary jersey numbers. Jaromir Jagr, Calgary Flame. Let me stop the sim. And add Stajan to the injury list. Goodness. We really need to max out that med staff. This is not good. Jagr is joining the team at a prime time. Okay, here we are, back in the line screen. These injuries are going to do me in. Thank God I added custom menu music because it's making this a lot, helping me keep my sanity as much as possible while I rearrange the roster with all the injuries we've dealt with. So, I've already forgotten who's injured, but my brain can't keep up. On D, it's completely fine. D is fine. Camilleri's still there. Who did we just lose to injury? Stajan! We lost Stajan. That's right. Stajan is gone. So, Street is not very good at face-off, so it doesn't matter who plays center. I'm going to... Horak plays center. I'm going to swap him, put him down here, fourth line center. Yager is going to get in for Street. So I got to find this Street kid. Street, you're a healthy scratch. Yager. I got to find his name in here. There he is. Jaromir Yager is going to get into the lineup. And I'm swapping him with Jones. Oh, crap. That was the total opposite swap. LaPierre, you get back on the third line. Yager, this is so... It has a mind of its own. So Yager... Put him on the right wing if he's more comfortable being there. Hoodler on the left wing, first line minutes. Same with Yager, first line minutes. It'll all change when we get completely healthy, but for now, Yager first line. See how that works. I like Stempniak on the second line. Is he still the leading goal scorer? How many goals does he have at this point? What has he done so far? 9 goals, so he's cooled off a bit. He's definitely cooled off a bit. Still leads on. You know what? Yeah, I don't know. Do we put anybody? I think I'm going to leave Stempniak there. Before we do any change, is this whole line a minus? Are they just a huge minus? -3, -7, LeCavalier -7, and Stempniak was a -6. So this line defensively is not particularly good. Well, Whitney is out there for a lot of goals against. He has the worst plus-minus of all the defensemen. So I'm just going to move him down to the third pair. Scuderi is going to bump up alongside Brody. That's the only change there on D. Okay. Yager, first game as a Flame in this GM mode series against the Senators. How does it go? Is it a victory? It is. It is a 2-1 win. Is there any injuries? I got to sim past this game to see injuries. And now Weidman is gone with an injury. Oh, man. You know, I need to do whatever possible to max out that med staff. This is not good. We can't keep micromanaging these injuries. We're not even through December yet. Oh, this changes the D a lot, doesn't it? So everyone just moves up a little bit. Smith down here and Butler. There we go. So we'll just do that. Okay, fortunately, Weidman is just a 4-day injury. So we'll just we'll hang on to Weidman for a second until he gets back in here. No. No. Oh boy. Zach Dalton. Nope. Pass on Dalpy, but please stop the sim. And you haven't seen it. I don't think you've seen it yet, but I'm going to show it. Our top line center is out with an apparent hip injury. He needs to be evaluated, but Camilleri is gone for an undetermined amount of time. We have got... I'm sick of managing these injuries. We're not even at Christmas yet. We're right before Christmas right now, and we just keep getting injury after injury. I try to show you every single injury that pops up so you know who gets injured and roughly at what point in the season. Woof. Really taking a hit with this one. That obviously means that LeCavalier moves up. In fact, everyone here just basically moves up. So Backlund, your second line center. Horak, your third line center. And Street, you are the fourth line center because I don't really have any other choice there. So who would make sense on the power play? Power play. All right, we'll rock Mikhail Backlund on the power play. Second power play unit center until Camilleri eventually returns. Or, yeah, Camilleri was in that spot. I'm going to leave this as it is. We'll take a look before the new year, around the new year. We'll look at the stats and see if anything needs changing. All right, it's Christmas Day. Now, I cannot upgrade the med staff. How many points does that cost? Oh, it costs 300, I see. So I got a long way to go. I was hoping... It's Christmas Day in the game. So I was hoping I would have an upgrade here to spend on the med staff. We desperately need it. So whatever I need to do to get available points to spend on my staff, we need to do that. And I guess that just comes with winning games, which we have not been doing a lot of lately. We're going to sim up to the new year, and then we will reflect on the 2013 season. Look who's back, Mike Camilleri. Okay, he's back right before the new year. Before he can celebrate New Year's on the team now. So Street is he's the healthy extra. He's going to become the healthy extra, and will eventually at some point he'll be sent down, I guess, if we can ever stay healthy. So Camilleri would be at the top of this list. There he is. Get him in there. And then swap. You know, I'm going to put... Has Lecavalier's plus-minus improved? It has, playing on the top line. All right, you know what? Camilleri, you're just going to play second-line minutes for now. Backlund has a power play goal. How many did Camilleri have? Should we put Camilleri on the power play or just leave it with Backlund? Because Backlund has scored a power play goal and he just got put on the power play. Okay, I don't know that it really matters. Generally speaking, you give that spot to Mike Camilleri, and I think I'm just going to give it back to Camilleri. I see Butler went down. I'm going to claim this guy. I'm going to claim Keaton Ellerby. He's making like league minimum or whatever. He's making sub $1 million. It's a one-year deal. He could be a decent depth D. And we just suffered an injury. So are we in roster moves? Butler just got injured. So we're going to need that guy because, well, who do we have? Who do we have up in the NHL system? Or you know what I mean. Who do we have called up? I got to sort this by overall rating. So this is all the players we have. We just lost Butler. We do have this Smith guy. Kandari, I want to send down. Call up Ellerby. So Ellerby gets called up, and then we have a lot to choose from there. Smith and Ellerby. What's this guy done this year? He's a -2. He played one game in the NHL. He's sent down by LA. So I'm going to give him a shot. Let's just put him right in and see what he can do. Smith, you're scratched. Ellerby, you are dressed into the lineup. And just on that third pairing with Whitney. Has your plus-minus improved at all? With less minutes, Ryan Whitney. They're about the same. Where is Ellerby? Is he a defensive? He's a defensive defense. You know what? You're killing penalties now, buddy. Oh man, NHL 2004 had some great tracks on it. This one included. So there you go. Ellerby in the lineup. That's all the changes for now. We're gonna go look back at the stats through this point in the season. Okay, sorted by points. This is the Western Conference at the New Year. So New Year's Day, we are right at New Year's Day. We've turned the calendar year on the 2013 season. Remember, Season 1 is the 2013 season. It starts on the 2013 calendar year. So the calendar year is done. And this is what it looks like. We're 4th in the West. And we are less than 10 behind Vancouver, but we've clearly fallen off because we have reached a 14-loss season in regulation. 2 in overtime and 20 wins, so it's not bad, but we're still hanging in there. There is a little bit of separation in the West, but it's still really early days, and it's too close to tell how things are going to go. The most important thing, what's our points percentage? I think that could be better. I don't know what our points percentage was in the last episode, but you can definitely find it in the last episode. And so it's here. This is the East on points. New Jersey reigns supreme by a large margin over their main rival, the Rangers, and the Islanders. So those three are at the top of the East. It's so tight in the rest of the East. Look at this. Separated by a point here. These three teams, Florida, Buffalo, Columbus, have the same amount of points. Carolina's hanging in there. Then Philly with 42. Toronto at 41. Detroit 39. Then 36. This is the beginning of a fall off here in the rest of the East. But, you know, it's not game over for Boston or any of these teams in this area, just outside the playoffs at this point in the season. As far as the entire league is concerned, no big surprise here. The New Jersey Devils are the best team on goals for. They've scored the most goals in the NHL to this point in the season. We are right here at 105. That goals for per game average for New Jersey is an amazing skyrocketing 3.19 per game. The only team close to that is Vancouver in the West with a 2.97. We have a 2.92, so we're scoring a very similar amount of goals per game that Vancouver does. Big surprise, big surprise. The team giving up the least goals, the New Jersey Devils as well. So they're scoring the most and they're giving up the least. They are just pure dominance right now. The envy of the entire NHL. And Vancouver is right below them, so that would make sense that Vancouver leading the West, New Jersey leading in the East. We are right smack in the middle in goals against. We're giving up 95 total goals against on the season. The best average per game, goals against per game average, is New Jersey is giving up less than 2 goals on average in every game they play to this point in the season. And our goals against average is also right smack in the middle, 2.64. So our goaltending needs to just get a little bit better. I will look at individual stats in a moment at the January 1st mark of the season. The best team on the power play is Nashville, but we are right there, 37 goals on the power play. The best power play percentage in the league, Vancouver at 23.4, but look at us. We were at like a 19% clip in the end of the last episode. To this point in the simulation now, 20.4. We have improved the power play on percentage. We've also given up the most shorthanded goals against. So while we do have a very respectable power play, it also is prone to giving up goals to the opposition while we have the man advantage. The least power play goals against the teams giving up the least amount of goals while they are killing penalties would be Carolina. Carolina has a stout penalty kill, and we do as well. We've given up 19 total power play goals against, but I don't know how many times we've been shorthanded. 136. There's the answer to that question. So we don't take a ton of penalties compared to some of these teams around us, but when we do take the penalties, we seem to be killing them off. The best penalty kill in the NHL, of course, is Carolina at a staggering 90% with 158 shorthanded attempts. We are 9th on the penalty kill, 86%. That's not even bad. 86%, around 85% is very respectable for a penalty kill. If you're doing better than that, you are just astounding, like Carolina is. So I will take an 86% on the penalty kill, but judging by the teams ahead of us, obviously it could get better. We only have scored twice when shorthanded. Only 2 shorthanded goals for. The most in the NHL is Philadelphia with 5. And looking at the trends for us lately on the home stretch of things, we are 10-6-1 when we play at the Saddle Dome. Away from the Saddle Dome, it is a very similar record. It is above 500, but it's barely above 500 at home and on the road. And in our last 10, it is 500 hockey, essentially. We win a game, we lose a game. We're 4-5-1 in our last 10, and you will definitely see that losing trend when I show you the calendar in a moment. Oh, the great calendar. So this is where we picked up today in this recording session. Anaheim 3-2 loss. So that's a loss that followed up a loss as well to San Jose to end the last episode. So 2 in a row, but then we did get a few wins in a row. We got a 3-game winning streak. Very good. Lost to Florida. Immediately snapped that with a 2-game winning streak. Back-to-back games, back-to-back wins against Ottawa and Tampa. But then we lost to Toronto, won a game against Nashville, then 3 in a row. That's our longest losing streak of the year. 3 in a row. St. Louis back-to-back. And then abysmal performances here. Losing 7-4 again against the Wild. Then we won 6-1 against Los Angeles. And went out to San Jose to lose 4-3. And lost 4-3 as well against the Coyotes. So I want to show personal stats. Once again, New Year's Day through 36 games played. These are the guys, if you see a guy with 36 in the games played column, they've played every game in the season to this point. And that would be Jiri Hudler, who leads the team in goal scoring. It was Stempniak in the end of the last episode through like 21 games. So Stempniak's still up there, but Hudler has overtaken that. I don't know that this team has a 40 goal. I don't think we have a 40 goal scorer on this team. We may be lucky to have a 30 goal scorer. Any 1 point per game. The Cavalier is exactly point per game. So bit of a round of applause there. That was a good signing in free agency. We all knew that, but I do want to show everyone's goal totals so far, so we'll go back through. Here's everyone's goal totals real quick. If you want to see it in great detail, you can always pause the video. The most assists on the team, the Cavalier, he is just dishing the puck around, and whoever he gives it to seems to be finding a way to score. He's been moved up to the first line, so he's got new line mates. We're trying to improve the plus-minus for that second line. Butler's taking the most penalties, Giordano, the Cavalier, and then it really tails off a bit. So there's your penalty takers. Best plus-minus on the team, Mike Camilleri. That might be the thing. He might be a defensively responsible sniper for this team. So might help anchor that second line a little bit as a second line center. as he's got a very good plus-minus. So it seems that we had a lot of guys that were negative. Yager is a +3. Got 2 goals, 8 assists so far, by the way. Plus-minus does seem to have cleaned itself up a little bit here. As you see, it's not so dramatic for these guys that are in the negative. The most dramatic guys in the negative, Ryan Whitney. A guy that I shifted around to the third pair because of how bad his plus-minus is, and Weidman is pretty abysmal with the plus-minus as well. The guy scoring on the power play, Jiri Hudler. I want to say that's first-line power play minutes. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's getting it done. And Stempniak is still sitting at 6 power play goals. Has Yager gotten one on the power play? He's playing the point. No, he does not have a power play goal. I could have just stopped scrolling once we got beyond Giordano. The 2 guys with shorthanded goals, Glenn Cross obviously missing with an injury right now, and LeCavalier. Last thing to look at, but not of the least importance, is face-off percentage. So, 885 attempts of Cavalier getting it done in the dot and Camilleri. Your top 2 centers, absolutely not a complaint. They're above 50%. They're taking a lot of face-offs, and they're winning more than they are losing based on that metric. Reinhardt, with 12 face-offs taken, is exactly 50%. This is where it becomes a concern. Backlund, less than 50, but not by a lot. It's slightly under 50, but obviously I want to get that number above 50 for all of our centers if we can. But we've moved some guys around at the center position. Stajan out with an injury right now. He is obviously doing worse on the draw than some of these guys. I know he has taken a lot more face-offs than Hudler has, for example, with 206. But some of these guys that are playing center, you guys are going to have to win some face-offs. Ooh. And now that we start the sim beyond New Year's, Butler, I have been told, is 3 months. That's significant. So Ellerby, Smith, those guys, they're going to be getting a big look on the back end while Butler remains injured. So we're going to continue the sim. Like I said, we're taking this up to basically the deadline. And I don't know. I think we'll just make adjustments as we go. Nope. Pass. Big pass on that. Okay, now we're on a losing streak. Oh boy, 3-game losing streak. Well, we've fallen 3 games in a row coming out of the new year after the San Jose game. 3 in a row. I'm a little pissed off with this. They're 1-goal losses. Look at that. But I'm making a change I might make a change to a few places, but in particular, I want to get it done on the power play. I want to swap Yager and Stempniak. Let's see if we can just maybe spread that out a little bit. I don't know if we're still giving up a lot of shorthanded goals. I mean, remember, we've got a bunch of offensive-minded defensemen on the power play, plus Stempniak. So maybe that's why we're giving up goals when we have the man advantage. But do we need to shift it around defensively? Maybe we put Whitney. Well, I gotta look. I don't know. I'd have to look at stats to really get an idea. Maybe we just spread this around. Scuderi to the top pair with Giordano. See how that feels. Man, if ever there was a hockey song, this is it. All right, we're up to the All-Star game, so there you go. What have we done since we last took a look, since we paused to take a look at stats, which was the New Year's Day right here. San Jose, we won. It's easier to go to the calendar to do this, isn't it? All right, all the way back here. New Year's Day against San Jose. This is all over the place. It's so fidgety. Won against the Sharks. Then we lost. 3 in a row. Actually, 4 in a row because we lost to the Canadians. Then we seemed to kind of turn it around. We got 3 in a row right there. So a nice answer back with 3 in a row. Dropped to Carolina. I don't know if that was regulation or a shootout or overtime or anything like that because the game just doesn't really tell you. But we lost that one, but bounced back. Big win against Columbus. And now we're at the All-Star break. So I do want to not really jump in, but I want to look at the roster and see who is representing the Calgary Flames in the All-Star game. I'd have to guess it might be Vincent LeCavalier or Kiprasov. Okay, so the All-Stars for the West: Kane, Sedin, Hossa, Hall, LeCavalier. There you go. Vincent LeCavalier is representing the Calgary Flames in the All-Star game. Heatley, Kessler, Stewart, Cole, Hudler. Jiri Hudler made it. We got 2 Flames there. being represented in the All-Star game, as well as Sergei Kostitsyn. Remember him from the Nashville series. Downey and Burns, Hamhuis and Johnson, and Sabisa and Ekman-Larsson. And in net, Varlamov and Luongo. So we got 2 representatives. We didn't do too bad, did we? Curtis Glencross, long time no see. And I'll tell you, Hudler's been really, really good for us, especially on the top line. Those playing top line mid. He's almost point per game, 22 goals. What the hell? Okay, Curtis Glencross, I don't know what to do with you, buddy. What's Sven Baertschi done? I gotta get updated on what's been going on with these guys and their stats. Baertschi's had a good year, but more like a third-line guy to me. More like a third-liner, especially with Glencross getting back in there. Stempniak, have you done anything for me? You scored more? Not really. Stempniak is a third-liner to me. I think Stempniak's a third-liner. You're gonna move Jones down. Oh, God. Someone's got to get out of the lineup. That's what's got to happen. Tim Jackman, is there anything good about you? Have you done? He's actually scored as a grinder. He scored 4 goals this year. Max Reinhart, well, he's young. We want him to grow, right? Reinhart, I want him to grow, so I think Jackman's going to become the odd man out here. Okay, Glencross is going to play on the second line, but what is Glencross? A left wing? I'm going to swap you with Baertschi. Yeah, I like Baertschi on the second line. Stempniak to me is a third line player. At least that's just what he's playing like right now. Baertschi on the... What is Baertschi? Is he a left wing as well? He's a left wing, but you're just going to have to get used to playing the right side because Glencross is back, and that also will affect the power play. So, David Jones, 9 goals, 12 assists, 21 points. Anything on the power play? 4 on the power play. 4 goals on the power play is not too bad. Okay, Sven Baertschi started to pick it up on the power play. He has 5 on the power play. I'm taking Stempniak off the power play. I'm putting Glencross in there. He's also a two-way forward. That will shore up the defensive side of things on the point on the power play. And he was playing power play minutes before he got injured. So we'll just try that out for right now. We'll just try that out. Stempniak comes off. Glencross on the power play. Okay, Glencross injured his knees, playing through an injured knee. Is that a new injury, or is that what he was diagnosed with? But Ellerby is now being evaluated. So the guy that I claimed off waivers and threw in there is now gone. That should mean, that just means that Smith kid gets in there. So he's just going to get in there anyway. We are just having a rough go at it, right? Oh, Sven Baertschi, 2-day injury. Okay, it's fine with me. 2-day injury for Sven Baertschi, 26, 18, and 5. It's still above water. We're still treading above water, but barely now. It's just we're doing way too much losing in this portion of the season. With a lot of these injuries, really do suck. Man, another close 1-goal loss. We're losing a lot of 1-goal games, aside from the New Jersey game. Another 1-goal loss. The game has edited the lines a little bit the way that it sees fit, which is really going to it's just throwing a big headache for me. So I had Hudler, and Hudler was playing the left side, right? Left wing. So Hudler was here. Glencross was like down here. This is so all over the place. Thank you, game. I really needed this. So I know it's tough because we're losing a lot of close ones. I know I had Stempniak. I'm going to do that. Glencross. You know what? Let's have Glencross on the right side for now. We need to just figure something out. I need to look at plus minus and figure out just what line is really screwing us over defensively, because we're giving up. Okay, you're even plus minus. We're not giving up a ton of goals. We're losing a lot of 1-goal games. We just need to score a few more goals and keep a few more out. But that first line doesn't look like it's a concern. No, first line is all good. Glencross, not really a concern there. Is Lecavalier a plus? His plus minus has gotten way better. Ooh, fourth line. Fourth line is doing me in. It's going to be the fourth line, isn't it, that's struggling? Yeah, fourth line is struggling when they're out there. That part of that is Reinhart in there. No, he's a plus. He's scored 5 goals. Reinhart's having a good year. All right, LaPierre, you're going to play center on the fourth line. Try to see if that shores things up a little bit there. Oh, Brody's back from... Brody get back from an injury? I guess Brody must have got back from injury and it never alerted me, but TJ Brody's back. So There you go. Ellerby's back as well. Okay, so that kind of solves things there. Yeah, I had Berchi on the power play, didn't I? Yeah, Berchi. Do we want Jones? Who do we want? Or Glenn Cross? Yeah. I need a forward killing penalties. It's a really good defense stat. Stempniak. Yep, those are penalty killers. Stempniak's got to kill penalties. That's the main one. Oh, the losing. All right, we got to pause it. We got to look at the stats. I got to look at the goaltenders. Okay, Kiprasov, 51 games. This was kind of the plan. And his save percentage has dropped. 90% save percentage. What's his goals against average? Did I pass that? GAA? Okay, it's 2.61. That's reasonable still. That save percentage, he's got to save some more of the shots that he does face. He's just got to perform a little bit better. We got to play better in front of him too. Cavalier on the top line. We need to do that. That's right. Camilleri was supposed to play second line minutes. I'm going to go back to Weidman on the first pair. And now Ryan Whitney is down with an injury. And we are just... Let's see. How many have we lost in a row now at the 16th of February? 1, 2, 3 in a row. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is painful. 8-game losing streak. This is going to tank our season. I don't know what to do. I got to, obviously, Whitney's gone. I don't know what to do. Smith gets in there, but we got to spread this out. Scuderi, you're down here. You know what? Actually, let's swap that. Ellerby, you get back there. Brody on the third pair. Oh, this is a nightmare. Is Giordano, is he a left shot? He is a left shot. I wonder, should we just move these guys, Giordano to the right side, see how that works? I don't know what's going on. We got to see if our penalty kill... Oh, God, the forwards are all over the place. Again, man, these injuries just throw the lineups all over the place for some reason. So, did we get an injury? Is there an injury in here? I don't see Hoodler. I don't see Hoodler. He's been injured. Ah, well, that explains it. That explains it. Okay, Glenn Cross, you're back on the first. That really sucks. Man, these injuries suck. These injuries really they're throwing everything off. Jones up to the second line. And Horak to the third. God, this is so all over the place. It's so bad with the injuries. Streets on the power play, man. Oh, this power play, Stempniak, you're on the power play again. Your first unit. Just figure something out. I don't know what to tell you. Figure it out. Bro, just get me through February. I mean, we don't have long to go until the deadline. It's not too much longer. We gotta go on a big winning streak now. We have gotta snap this losing in the butt. We're on an 8-game losing streak. I didn't even realize, really, through simulating. I had no idea. Oh, but by the good graces of someone. I don't know whose good graces. Someone's good graces. We have Stajan back. Thank God. Okay, Stajan's back. That means Street's gone. Street's got to be the healthy scratch now. We can't stay healthy. All right, Street, you're gone. Welcome back, Stajan. Thankfully. Okay, Stajan was third line center, right? What was he doing before he even got injured? Taking face-off wise. What was he doing It doesn't show me from here. Yep, I will just put you on the third line. It's fine with me. Backlund, you're a center, but how good are you? You're okay. You can play on the fourth line. Shore up that fourth line a little bit with... Yeah, we'll put Lapierre. We'll keep Lapierre there. Wait, what's Lapierre done in terms of offense? Has he produced much of anything? A little bit, but yeah, that's fourth line time for you. Or Horak, has he done similar? Has he done better? 8 goal. Okay, Horak, you're a third line guy. That's fine with me. I think Stajan would make a good penalty killer. I think I like the penalty kill as it is. Glenn Cross is good defensive rating. Yeah. No, I'm fine with that. All right, so Stajan is back. Please win a game. Please win a game. Please win a game. Please win a game. Stajan back, playing through a playable injury. We lose it. And Yager is now added to the IR. Oh, but good. Ryan Whitney's back now. Okay, this game against Dallas, I need... Oh, wait. I forgot about Yager. Crap. Okay, no Yager for an undetermined amount of time. We're going to get Hoodler back in 3 weeks. Whitney is back playing through a playable injury. I know it says 7 days on it, but I got to get him back in there. This is to prevent a 10-game losing streak, which has been a major setback for our season. Please just beat the Dallas Stars. Okay, whatever, that's Abbotsford. I don't care about Abbotsford right now. Please beat Dallas. Please beat Dallas. No! Oh my god. 10-game losing streak. Yager's a 3-month injury. Glenncross is now down. This season's over. Season 1 is officially just lighted on fire. It's over. All good. Berchi has grown to an 80 overall. Well, welcome to the first line, Berchi. At this point, it doesn't really matter. You know, Lapierre's going to get second line time. And, yeah, I don't know what to do with this lineup. Who did we just lose to injury? Glenncross just went down with an injury. Hoodler is down with an injury. And we just lost Yager. I mean, this game really dicks you over mega big. There's nothing I don't know what to do. There's nothing I can do with this roster at this point. It is what it is, bro. You know what? We're going to team up Camilleri. Should we do... who do we have that can play center on the second line? I'm thinking... Stajan's the center. I'm going to do this. We need an all-powerful first line. Sniper, Camilleri, you get up there. LaPierre, you can go down here. Jackman, swap with Stajan. Backlund is here. LaPierre is a wing, right? Yeah. Oh, center. You know, LaPierre, you play center. Whatever. Screw it. Play center on the fourth line. Stajan with Berchi. But would Stajan be the better centerman? Then, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Face-offs is 75. Berchi's a left wing, I'm sorry. So, you play there. Okay, Backlund is going to get in the power play. Get Backlund in there. Well, we won! We beat the Rangers 4-1. We finally won another game. Did somebody go down with an injury? I should just look at the injury report at this point. The list is too long. Oh, great. Glenncross. You know what? Just sit him out. We just won a game. Sit him out. Wow. Wow. Look at the injury. Look at this. Look at this nonsense. We won't even have Yager back until May. If we even make the playoffs. Oh, we're right here at the deadline, and it has been ugly. There's not a whole lot to recap. We're 29, 27, and 7, and we just really, we just floored it into the ground is what we did. Look at this losing streak from this game against the Rangers onward. 10 in a row we dropped before we finally beat the Rangers, but we have stunk it up during the month of February. It was a rough February. And I think, honestly, we're sellers, but we're here at the deadline. This game against the Capitals, where we're at right now, is the trade deadline. So you make the call. I think we're sellers. I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. We'll look at the standings and everything in a second, but assessing the injury situation and we got to call season 1 what it is. I think it's a loss. We got to decide, do we sell off these players? Do we maybe try to add somebody? We're not going to have Yager now. He's gone. He's out for the rest of the season with an injury. So do we try to trade for somebody to improve our chances? Do we stick with the team as it is? I mean, we are in a really tough spot entering the deadline. Because it's a 500 hockey club, but the standings will tell all. That's what's left of the season right there. I don't think we're making the playoffs. We'd have to go on an unbelievable run. And it has been an unholy of all unholy sights to see this big losing streak that honestly, that's just been a huge shot in the foot. Killed our season right here. With a lot of one-goal losses. We lost 4-3 to the Rangers to start. 2-1 to the Sabres. 2-1 to the Red Wings. Then we lost 3-2 to the Panthers. We got shut out by the Canadiens. Lost by 2 goals to our, main rival, the Oilers. Lost 1-0 to the Kings. 4-7 drubbing by the Ducks. 3-1 loss. 2-1 loss to the Stars. And then we lost again 2-1 to the Devils. That one was in extra time, so we got a point in that game. But needless to say, it would take a crazy winning streak to get us in at this point. All right, at the deadline, the best team in the West remains Vancouver, but barely hanging on to it, and that's because Colorado is sniffing right up their neck. So is LA. So those teams have caught up to Vancouver. Everybody's dealing with injuries, but none like us, in my opinion. I need to upgrade that medical staff. Calgary. So we're just hanging on to a playoff spot right now. We are still in it. But you can see Dallas is even still in the conversation. They're just, like 10 points out? I think we hold the last spot in the playoff race right now at the deadline. So it could go any way in the West. In the East, the Devils still the force to be reckoned with. I mean, no one's catching New Jersey. They look like a team destined for a Stanley Cup run, and that's how tight the East is. It's still pretty tight there in the East up until Washington. After that, it kind of falls away. Pittsburgh, Tampa, Boston. Your seasons look to be more than likely done. So where have we cooled off? We've cooled off a little bit in goal scoring. That's been a struggle for us. We're just not quite scoring enough goals, and we've definitely cooled off a bit. We have 177. I don't know where it was at earlier in the video when we paused at New Year's Day to take a look at this stuff. But from New Year's Day to the trade deadline, it has been a steady decline for this team. I think just simply we're losing a lot of one-goal games. We're just not quite scoring enough. Goals for per game would tell you the story, but we're 7th in the NHL in goals for per game. The only team better than 3 is New Jersey, and even that's come down for those guys. So we're not having a terrible time scoring goals, honestly. We're right there. We're top 10 in the NHL. Better than that. We're 7th. Okay, I was trying to record last night as of the day I'm recording this particular part. Last night I tried to record episode 3, I think it is. Is it called episode 3? I don't know where we're at. And the computer that's capturing the audio for this just crashed in the middle of recording. So I was able to save all of it, but I have to go back and get the end of the video. So that's what this is. So if there's a weird cut and things don't make sense, that's why. The computer just crashed in the middle of recording, and I'm doing the outro now. And I know that I don't know exactly. I haven't looked at it yet. So I don't know exactly where it cut off, but we were looking at stats, and to just round this episode off and give it a nice clean ending, we're at the trade deadline. We need to make a decision as to what we want to do at the deadline. Do we want to just stay put? I'm leaning towards staying put because we're still in a playoff spot. Let me pull up the West one more time just so you can see it again. Yeah, we're in that last playoff spot. Sorry, I'm supposed to be looking at points, not losses. So I got the points column highlighted. We're hanging on right now at the later stages of the season. So I think we should stay pat and not do anything at the deadline. But if you think we should sell, you think this team doesn't have a shot in hell at making the playoffs, then let me know in the comments. Or if you think we should bolster the roster. We're missing Jaromir Jagr, who was our free agent signing out of desperation. He's going to be gone until late May. So he won't be back for the playoffs should we even make the first round. So with that being said, that's just going to do it for this episode. I will try to get another one recorded very quickly and turn around and get it uploaded. Because I know that basically between episodes, it's basically been a week. And I would like to get the series out a little more frequently, but things are kind of chaotic right now. And the thing with it being a GM mode is it's a long time to sit down and record. I think I sit down and I record an hour and a half to 2 hours of content for just a single episode for this GM mode. Because it takes so long to sim and there's so much stuff to go through. And I'm trying, and stay with me on this because it's very awkward trying to figure out how to edit a GM mode and keep it interesting. Because there's a lot of micromanaging and all of the injuries. I wanted this episode. Hopefully I'm successful in editing this. But I wanted to show a little bit more of the simulation and less of the micromanaging. But with all of the injuries that we've suffered this season, inevitably, I had to go around and play around with the roster throughout the season. So next episode, we're going to get from the trade deadline. I'll wrap it up here. We'll get from the trade deadline to the end of the season. You can see it right here. This is what's left all the way into, excuse me while I burp, into April. Last game against LA around mid-April. So we'll get that done. If we make the playoffs, then obviously I'm going to intervene in those games. I will be playing those games myself. That was kind of the point of this series. But I don't even know if we'll make the playoffs at this point. So there may not be episodes of me playing any gameplay as the Calgary Flames, which I was definitely looking forward to. So that's it for this episode. I'm finally going to wrap it up. We will see you in the next one.